From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network at Troy, Alabama's International University, this is Troy TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision News for April 2nd, 2018. I'm Chelsea Law.
And I'm Nathaniel Rodriguez. Thank you for joining us this evening. Troy students will get the chance to meet with a potential future employer this Wednesday at the Spring Career Fair. However, they are worried their resume isn't what it needs to be to impress an employer. Troy Career Services is giving them some help. Yolanda Allen has the story.
Once a semester, the Career Services hosts a career fair for all majors. But before going to the career fair this upcoming Wednesday, students have a chance for someone in Career Services to look over their resume.
So basically what students can do is just like a drop-in, they come to see myself, other students here, to review their resume, to help them with the format, different wording, really pushing for the action verbs to help spruce up their resume so that way when they give it to employers this Wednesday, the likelihood for them to receive a job will be high.
Not every student is currently looking for a job or an internship. Some just want to be prepared.
It's really important to start early because if you go ahead and add your skills and experience while they're still fresh on your mind, you won't have to run around trying to figure out more information later.
Most students do not know that a resume should be no more than a page long.
We encourage students to have their resumes roughly 1 page, but if it is 2 pages, to really include key components and qualifications that they have, because again, you only have 30 seconds to impress that employer, and you want to make sure you leave them with a lasting first impression.
Some students felt that it was helpful to get someone to look at their resume.
I don't know if my resume is really all that good, so I figured having another person who doesn't know me look over it would really help out, and getting some good tips is a must so I can get a career one day.
The Career Services do allow students to come and ask questions about their resume anytime in Eldridge Hall, room 104. Yolanda Allen, Troy TrojanVision News.
Career Services will be back in the Trojan Center again tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The career fair will be on Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Trojan Center ballrooms.
Troy University is no stranger to awards for broadcasting. The students in the Hall School of Journalism routinely win awards each year. However, it's not just the student broadcasters being recognized. A pair of professional broadcasters with Troy Public Radio were recently named the best in the state. Paige Weeks has the details.
Troy Public Radio was recently recognized by the Alabama Broadcasters Association in this year's Best in Broadcasting Awards. The station won a pair of Abbies in this year's contest. Kyle Gassett won Best Radio Reporter in a Medium Market, and In Focus with Carolyn Hutchison won an Award of Merit in Public Affairs Radio for a Medium Market. Gassett says it is good to be recognized for the hard work put in every day.
Well, I think what's really nice about an award like this is it makes people stop a little bit and take notice of what happens behind the scenes. You know, we work really hard every day to make everything seamless on the radio, everything sound as good as we can, and sometimes people don't realize that there are hours and hours of work that go into it. And when you get an award like this, it's a little bit of recognition where people stop and think about that, because, you know, we really try to put out the best product we can every day, and we really enjoy what we do. But it's also nice to be recognized for it every now and then.
Gassett says that the political environment in Alabama and the coverage Troy Public Radio gave to it last year helped contribute to the station getting the awards.
I know in the case of the show, she did a lot of interviewing around what happened, what was going on politically last year, because we have Don Daly from Alabama Public Television, who's a regular contributor to our show. For my reporting, a lot of it was about what happened politically in terms of the governor resigning and getting a new governor, and then of course what happened during the special election. So I think, you know, just looking at that and thinking about that, I think it means a little, people realize that we're out there and we're covering the stories that, you know, that people are paying attention to and that matter.
This is familiar territory for Gassett and Hutchison, as they have both been recognized by the Alabama Broadcasters Association in the past. Paige Weeks, Troy TrojanVision News.
Gassett and Hutchison are expected to be recognized tomorrow night by the Montgomery City Council for their Abbie Awards. Troy University students who have a desire to help children in need now have an outlet.
It's through a relatively new student organization on campus, the Future Child Advocates. Hannah Rizzi has the details.
Bullying and abuse is an ugly reality that hundreds of kids in our community face every day. Enter the Future Child Advocates of Troy, a student organization empowering these children to find their voices. Led by President Courtney Fry, the organization has only been around since 2016.
Child advocacy was really my passion, and so I looked on one of our Facebook pages, I think it was Troy, class of 2015, just to see if anyone would be interested in starting the organization for child advocacy, and we got back a few people, and so once we got everything started, we elected myself as president and other people for the positions, and so that's how it first came to be.
The student organization mainly works to raise awareness within the university and Troy community, as well as some work with children directly.
We have 3 specific advocacy areas that we mostly advocate for, and so that's child abuse and awareness, suicide prevention, and anti-bullying. And so when we're talking about child abuse, we'll probably be on campus advocating, letting the students and faculty know about those stats. But when we do something like anti-bullying, we'll actually be going out into the community and talking with the children about that subject. So it's kind of like half and half.
At this week's meeting, the organization discussed National Child Abuse Prevention Month. They handed out these pamphlets which tested their knowledge on common abuse signs and indicators. Occasionally, Future Child Advocates of Troy will host its own events or fundraisers to help reach their organizational goals.
I think one of the biggest things that we do in the fall is our anti-bullying seminar, where we'll go out there and do some fun activities just to teach the children about anti-bullying, or maybe that is also through doing tutoring out there.
Future Child Advocate meetings are held the first and third Thursday of every month in Patterson Hall, room 314. They are open to everyone. Hannah Rizzi, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
If you would like more information about Future Child Advocates, you can find them on Facebook at facebook.com/FCA Troy.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy Trojan Vision News.
Hello and welcome to your Trojan Vision Sports. I'm Brianna Jones. The Trojan baseball team picked up their second conference series win after a victory over Georgia State on Saturday. Troy strung together 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning to take the Sun Belt Series with an 8-2 win Saturday at Riddle Pace Field. Freshman Manning Early drove in half of those 8th inning runs by hitting a home run over the wall in right field. Early finished the game 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Darren Osby improved on his undefeated record with 7 solid innings on the mound, giving up just 2 runs and striking out 7 batters. Lance Johnson picked up his first save of the season, taking over for Osby in the 8th. And head coach Mark Smart talks about how the team battled against adversity.
Proud of our team. We had a little bit of adversity on the format. We had 3 innings Thursday, and then the rains got us, slid it into Friday. Had a game in 2/3. It's hard to prepare for that, but we responded great in the first game. And then we had a tough loss in the second game, 9th inning breakdown, got beat 5-2. So we responded Saturday with a really good effort. Darren Osby was terrific. We won 8-3, very comfortable. Really proud of our team for bouncing back and getting that 3rd game to win the series, which was critical for our team going forward.
Up next, the Trojans travel to Jacksonville State to take on the Gamecocks Wednesday at 6 p.m. The Trojans softball team, however, wasn't so lucky against Georgia State, dropping a pair of games on Saturday to the Panthers. Troy dropped game 3-2. That game went 12 innings, the longest the Trojans have seen so far this season. 9 of the 10 Troy batters in the game posted a hit in the loss, with Talia Truitt and Logan Calhoun paving the way with 3 apiece. Game 2 was a bit more decisive as Georgia State took the conference series with a 6-3 win to round Troy out Saturday's doubleheader. The Panthers had a 6-0 lead after 2 innings aided by a grand slam in the second. The defense didn't allow another run, but the offense could not catch up. Up next, Troy returns home to host FAMU in a doubleheader on Wednesday. Games are set for 4 and 6 p.m. at the Trojan Softball Complex. The Trojan track and field team faced some of the toughest competition of the season so far at the Florida Relays and came out with a few top 8 finishes against some of the nation's top track and field teams. The best finish of the day came from Michael Avernez, who finished 2nd in the hammer throw with a new personal best of 63.09 meter throw. Overall, Troy had 6 top 8 finishes on the day, but as head coach Mark Davis says, sometimes that's not enough.
Florida was good. We had 9 personal records, 3 school records. We came out of it doing really, really well. And I said this the other day, usually I'd be ecstatic after we did that well, but we still left some things on the table, and we have to execute a little bit better in a lot of different areas. You know, one, we have that learning curve with the younger freshmen, sophomores, that they still don't have that big stage experience, and they're starting to get it, and it's kind of good that they're getting it early. But I think there's some things we need to improve on quickly.
Up next, Troy will head to Greenville, South Carolina for the Bill Carson Invitational held by East Carolina. The women's tennis team is only 3 games away from competing in the Sun Belt Conference Tournament, riding a 2-game winning streak over Georgia State and Alabama A&M. The team celebrated their seniors the day before their last match, and head coach Rawia El-Sisi talks about how a win was a good celebration for the ladies.
We played at home. We played Alabama A&M. We actually celebrated senior day just the day before the last home match. So it was good. Get a chance at least, you know, to we had more time that day. Get a chance to celebrate after, you know, and basically it's more of a thank you for the players that have been here for 4 seasons with us, and some of them been 3 seasons. So it's our senior class, the first recruiting class I had as basically as a head coach. So it's a big thing.
Up next, the ladies will take on Alabama State at 3 p.m. on Tuesday at home in the Lunsford Tennis Complex.